Ever since a fairly early age in my life, I always believed in the value of dialogue to address problems and settle disputes in preference to confrontation and violence. Key ideas which inspired the setting up of CPD originated in the return to parliamentary democracy at the beginning of the 1990s. The belief that this democracy, if it was to be sustained, needed to actively draw in civil society, both to contribute to the policy-making process, as also to hold the state accountable for its acts of omission and commission.
CPD's primary research and advocacy is on economic policies, but it is always done from the perspective of the interaction between politics and economy.
Holding the public representatives and the duty bearers accountable for their performance had been a strong tradition of CPD. To take this tradition forward, we initiated the review of the electoral promises and particularly undertaking midterm review of the performance of the government in 2001 and then in 2003. But thereafter we felt that just reviewing other people's agenda is not good enough. So in 2005-06, we initiated what we call the creating an development agenda for accountable development through a participatory process. That led us to the drafting of the Vision 2021 document. As we all know that this document, even the nomenclature Vision 2021 was later adopted by the major political party in the country.
One of the important objectives of CPD's research is to make concrete policy recommendations for the government to consider. For example, under CPD's flagship program called Independent Review of Bangladesh's Development, or IRBD, CPD conducts research on issues such as fiscal policy, taxation, revenue mobilization, public finance management, monetary policy, banking sector, broader financial sector, capital market, and so on. And we have made several recommendations over the years. Many of those recommendations have been reflected in government policies.
CPD was the host institution for the South Asia Center for Policy Studies, in the context of which we have done some of the pioneering works to deepen regional cooperation with countries in South Asia. CPD has also worked very closely with the Ministry of Commerce in the context of WTO, where Bangladesh's position with respect to many of the areas of negotiations in WTO were discussed, and CPD proposed many recommendations which were subsequently taken up by the government as well.
At present, CPD is doing its research activities under its 5-year-long strategic pathway for 2021 to 2025. And under this, CPD is actually focusing on the key 6 milestones for the country, which are the Bangladesh's LDC graduation by 2026, its middle-income country status to upper middle-income country by 2031, then the climate change-related vulnerabilities, addressing the concerns of the civil society, and ensuring the good governance.
CPD is the pioneering organization that got public recognition that citizens of Bangladesh should have a voice in deciding public policies, and citizens' voice needs to be strengthened and made much more cohesive.
Even though the political actors own the agenda, but it does not necessarily mean they really meant it or they are going to implement them. And that is when the next realization came to us, that we have to not only ensure the supply side part of it, but we will have to ensure the demand side of it, that the voice part of it, the noise part of it. It is that time we set up the Citizens Platform, and SDG came in very handy because it gave us another opportunity to earmark the performance of the government against the global commitments.
During our journey, we have found moral support from our well-wishers and partners, who include policymakers, many government officials, political leaders, civil society organizations, non-government organizations, youth group, women, media, development partners, and many more. And these partners are our strength.
I would have hoped that this culture of promoting constructive dialogue would have further contributed to creating a culture of public reasoning within the political process itself.